There is something new every day. The future feels so unpredictable. Where could we be in 15 years? Our playgrounds may change. Learning may not need classrooms. Robots might help us meet time for more important things. Will virtual life be our new social life? Coming? Don't worry about what the future will look like. Just prepare for it. Fearless plans from Aegis Federal Life Insurance help you and your family prepare for the future.
Welcome to a very special conversation with a very dear friend and somebody who's inspired me for the last 20 odd years. You said not the same question, but one question will be similar. How did Sania become the Sania?
Honestly, I think Sania just became Sania over time. It was a journey that we were on as a family, and to be very honest, we didn't really believe or think that we would reach the magnitude of everything that we did reach. I mean, I think that we wanted, we had our dreams and we were like, okay, we want to play Wimbledon one day. And, there were more sort of realistic dreams in those times. I mean, we're talking about 30 years ago. But to win Wimbledon, to become number one in the world, all those things, I think, happened over a period of time where we started having more and more belief in ourselves.
Tell me something. I mean, one thing is to have belief and the other thing is to be able to execute. And 44 wins on the trot, not losing a match for 6 months. There was no tradition in India for women's tennis especially, and from nowhere, and now there is no tradition again. So no Sania, nothing before Sania, nothing post Sania.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate, right? Because this is an answer that I've been trying to find myself for the last 15 years at least. I've been asked so many times, who after you? Because usually what happens is when you get a big player from a country, then you sort of have like this splurge of players that kind of come down over the next 5 years, and that unfortunately didn't happen in tennis, but it did happen in other sports, and I think that that's really good. But I think that as a tennis player, it does make me feel a little bit sad that we don't really have that next sort of go-to girl to say, okay, she's going to be the one who's going to kind of carry on the legacy or or take the baton. And I think that unfortunately it will not be someone in the next this generation, right? Like in the next 5 years, it'll be someone who's probably 13, 14, 15 today, who we need to spot and then try and get her there. So yeah, it is a bit of a unfortunate scenario when it comes to that, but it is what it is, and we all have to try and at least give those girls the opportunity that I didn't have, because at that point 30 years ago there was absolutely nothing.
So when you reduce 26 kilos, Sania, and make a comeback, every mother sees you and says, okay, my life has not ended, so what if I became a mother? I can, because if she's doing it in my little life, not become a Grand Slam champion, but I can also do it. I mean, have you thought about it, that you've consciously inspired millions in this country?
I'll be lying if I said that I didn't think about it. I think that it was a very big part of me doing what I did. Not just losing the weight, but me saying that I'm going to put myself first and say that I will try and do what I love. I don't want to, just because I've become a mother, sacrifice every single thing that I have done till today, because I don't think that that's the right thing to do. I think that being a mother is part of a woman's life. Just like being a father is part of every man's life. But you don't stop work, you don't stop doing everything just because you become a father. And it shouldn't be any different for a mother as well. And I feel that that was one of the very big reasons that I felt that even if I'm able to inspire one young mother to do what she loves just for herself, I would feel that I have achieved what I've tried to do. And I think that was something that was very, very important to me, and it was a very conscious thought. I used to document my journey of that weight loss, and I posted it and stuff, just so that I used to get messages from young women, and they would say, and those are the kind of messages that would keep me going, honestly. Like, some people would message me saying, I didn't feel like doing anything all day because I'm going through postpartum depression, and then I saw your video and I went out for a walk. And it's as basic as that, but that is such a big difference that you can make to a woman's life.
And when I think of the Sania phenomenon, I think of Nasima, I think of Imran Bhai, and I think of your sister. When we celebrate Sania, we don't celebrate the backstage. Your mother used to cook when you all used to travel, book tickets standing in line, in the bathroom, standing in line and book tickets standing in queues. Your father made this plan when she went and said Grand Slam champion, and the whole room looked saying, what? Your sister. So talk a little bit about Team Sania.
I think that, obviously because we are in front of the camera doing what we do, and we are the people who are actually winning, I think there is an entire team that goes into it. It starts with your parents, with your siblings, with your family friends, with your friends, and then it goes on to your coaches, your physios. And I think that people talk about how tennis is very individual sport. It's actually one of the biggest team sports that there is, because without a team you're not going to be able to make it. I think that I am, and I think most people will tell you, most athletes that have made it or not made it, that they are where they are because of their parents. And I think that I was very lucky to have parents who supported my dream, who dreamt with me, and who were ready to sacrifice their own young life. I mean, at that point, they were very, very young. When I picked up a tennis racket, I was 6. My dad was younger than me of what I am today. He was 35 and I'm 37, and imagine, like, they just said, okay, we're going to travel with our child, live separate lives as a young married couple. So it takes a lot of commitment.
Are you conscious of the fact that Izhan will be facing this? You're Sania Mirza's son, so we expect you to win something. Not tennis, so what? Badminton, cricket, something. You're Sania Mirza's son, so nothing but the world's number one position?
Yes, I am very aware of it, and I think that unfortunately or fortunately, both his parents have reached the pinnacle of their sports, and so whatever sport he picks, he will be expected to do very good at. And now very good standard will be different for him than it is for other kids, and we've seen that happen to so many legends kids, right? We've seen that happen to so many kids who've succumbed under the pressure, and even though they've had such great careers, they're almost treated like they've had the worst careers because of the legend that the parent was. So it is, and it happens in every single profession. It has nothing just to do with sport. So I think that I am very aware of it. Look, I will support him in whatever he wants to do. I will nudge him towards golf.
Why golf?
No, I'm saying I just want him to play a third sport. Like, I just want him to play no, but he plays football, he plays tennis, and he swims. And all the 3 coaches tell me, don't make him stop, because he's very good. I try to tell him, don't ever tell him he's very good. Just tell me, please, just don't tell him. And he did his first couple of races in swimming, and he came number 1 or whatever in an age group above his. So he is good. He's athletically obviously a little bit more gifted, I would imagine. But for me, I am very aware of the fact, and I just want to support him. I really don't care. Like, he can become a doctor, he can become whatever, whatever really he wants.
Last 2 questions. One, something on Rohan Bopanna. At 43-44 to scale number 1. 63 Grand Slam attempts, eventually winning. Our friend, common friend, a word on Rohan Bopanna.
No, it was, for me, obviously as an Indian, I was very proud. But I think more than that, as a friend, he's one of my closest friends. We've had a very, very long association together, playing our first ever mixed doubles together when I was 13 and he was like 18 or 19 years old. And to then finishing my career at the Australian Open with him, playing in the final of that Grand Slam. So it was, I've seen him go through it all. And when I say through it all, I mean through it all. I've seen him go through ITFs and challengers and everything, and coming into Grand Slams. And, I'm really glad that he's been able to finally get the acknowledgement that he deserves, because for a long time he played second fiddle to Mahesh and Leander, because their achievements were so much, so high and so great that no matter what he was doing, he was always in that shadow, and now he's come off his own. A little bit late, but I think that it's incredible that it's happened.
Any regrets? Complete fulfillment. I mean, we all try to be perfect in an imperfect day, and Sania Mirza is perfect in my eyes because you're a revolutionary. In Three Idiots, somewhere Amir Khan happened. You're like that Three Idiots personality in real life. Any regrets, or in your own life, you think, okay, I mean, this is now time to give back?
Regret, I don't think I would like to call it. I mean, I would have loved to win an Olympic medal. I think that's probably the only thing that I feel that I could have and should have won. Came very close, but didn't happen, wasn't meant to be, but you can't win it all. So I wouldn't call it a regret. Maybe a painful memory is what I would call it. Sometimes it still brings me tears. It's going to be it's 8 years now since that's happened, and it still kind of shatters Rohan and I both when we talk about it. We almost don't talk about it. We act like it never happened, But outside of that, I just feel like, I want to evolve now into different things, and whether that's helping the next generation of not just tennis players but young women athletes as well. I feel like no matter what sport you play, the mindset is the same and you can help.
I promised her not the same questions. I did not ask the same questions. Sania Mirza, always at least some, come on, some points to me, but absolute inspiration always will be. Let's end there. I mean, very few people I call my heroes. She's one. Thank you very much for watching.